Virgo, welcome to your mid-October 2023 General Tarot Update. It's Raina here. So I'm writing this. I'm doing this video on the heels of a solar eclipse in Libra on the 14th of the month. And that's going to be in your second house of earned income. So that could be very interesting for your finances. Let's see what happens. Let's see if that shows up synchronistically with this cards. Well, yeah, I mean, the first card I got was the Two of Pentacles. So that can be, making money decisions or, like, what do you call it? Just employment decisions and things of that nature. Okay, I'm picking a clarification card. I do have some swords here. Oh my gosh. Okay, two cards stuck together. Let me see what the other one is. Oh my goodness. I think it's two cards. Yeah, it's gotta be. Okay. I am going to pick, I'm going to cut this again because I'll tell you why in a minute. Okay. Oh my gosh. I got Page of Swords. These are all, okay. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm really tempted to, let me just do one more card. Okay. Four of Pentacles. So, well, the reason I picked additional cards is because when I have the last card, which is the outcome, the first one I picked was the Five of Swords, and that involves other people and their negative energy. I don't like to end readings that way. I don't feel that, first of all, I don't think that that resolves anything. I think that it just kind of opens up a new can of worms. So I kept picking these cards that were like similar, in a similar vein. And so I just wanted to see, like, okay, we can see that there might be some interference with other people. But I want to see, like, what is the crux of the situation? So I got the Four of Pentacles, I left it there, but I started with the Two of Pentacles. So both of these, because your Earth, the Pentacles are connected to the Earth signs. So anything with practical concerns is Earth energy. And so that might be something that is really front and center, which is what the Two of Pentacles is, front and center here, in your reality as we get to the middle of the month, as we get to that eclipse, which will be in an Earth house, the second house of earned income. Two of Pentacles can mean that you're choosing between two jobs. Maybe you have two job offers, or thinking about going to a new job rather than staying with your new job. You could be working I said new job, your old job. You could be working two jobs. You could be going to school and working, and that is creating a bit of a chaotic personal life because you just are kind of juggling things. This particular deck doesn't really show juggling, but in the Rider-Waite deck it does. And that's that's how some people live, at least for a certain season in their life. But it could be like the person wanting to kind of choose so that they either have more time, free time, so that they're not running like a crazy person around. They don't have that kind of balance in their life. But even making a choice. I don't know if I've ever heard of Virgos being one of the most indecisive signs, but it sure wouldn't surprise me if a fair number of you second guess yourselves. and think, hey, do I really have the judgment to make this decision a good decision? You may like be analytical, but you still may question your perceptions. And of course, or I should say, if this is about a personal relationship, it could be deciding either whether to stay with that person or not, or you have two people that you may have been involved with. In the past position, we have the King of Swords. This tends to be someone who is out of touch with their feelings. So if this is the kind of person that you're with, you may be like, this isn't very satisfying for me to be in this type of relationship. And this person may withhold, positive, I was going to say affirmations, but positive communication with you about their feelings for you, and you don't know where they stand. But this could also apply for in the workplace if you're dealing with a boss who does that. Those sometimes are tactics that people do when they're trying to stay kind of on top of things and be in control of situations. And other people can find that, the people that are on the receiving end can find that very problematic, because as human beings, we tend to respond, very positively to praise and just the feeling that we're wanted, that we are valued, like if it's an employee, a valued employee. And in some cases, somebody who, if you're in a relationship with them, they see you as a net positive in their life, and they're willing to say that, versus someone who's always critical. And those people who are critical, they may just be projecting their own insecurities onto other people, so it's not necessarily that there's anything wrong with you. It can be all about them. But the other thing too is that sometimes people do that as a manipulative thing, where they're trying to get a certain response from the person, of like trying harder, doing more. So it becomes like a way to kind of push somebody into greater action, like in the workplace, for instance, by not giving them that, what would you call it? Like, I guess you could say like pat on the back, and withholding praise. That triggers something in a lot of people because they may have experienced it when they were growing up, and it's very effective, I guess. But it's not very nice, and it's not a very positive environment. So anyway, uh, these cards. Sorry. The higher message is the Four of Cups. You can tell by the expression on this woman's face that it's not like a very, enthused kind of a vibe. And so what I would say about this is that you can, like, if you're choosing between two people, you may be indifferent to both of them, and you're just trying to find out which one you're the least indifferent towards. And so it's kind of like, to me, almost like a false choice in certain regards. In the workplace, this might be just like what we would call, I don't know if I'd say energetically, but just, yeah, I guess you could say that, where you may not really have your heart in something. And so if other factors conspire on the outside to kind of steer you away from that, and you're kind of like resisting that, you could be like not going on the path that you're meant to go on. And people do that usually because they're afraid of change, or they don't have faith that something better is in store for them. And that's something that needs to be cultivated, I suppose. What crosses you is the Ten of Swords. Now, this can simply be, closing a chapter in your life and realizing that, especially like if it's been kind of a negative chapter, and just being willing to move on. But this is a card of betrayal. So that can factor into some kind of, like in the workplace, some kind of situation where you're kind of like not being ready to let go of the hurt that is connected to some kind of, like, maybe it's with coworkers, betrayal. And you trusted somebody that kind of figuratively stabbed you in the back. And yet you're holding on to that for whatever reason. What could it possibly be? Well, people, if they're not getting justice, if they feel like that person is going on about their merry way and they're not seeming to have any consequences for their action, it can be very difficult for you to just kind of, I was going to say, mosey along, especially if your Mars is in Scorpio, because that could be like that retribution. Maybe even Mars in Libra, that retribution, like it's unfair what happened to me. So you're on this crusade when you don't know that it's unfair at a higher level. Who knows what is ever really going on in life? Maybe things are a lot more fair than we think that they are. And we're just like seeing the very limited scope of what is happening, and we don't know the full story. What's coming in, the Hierophant. This is a card that's associated with spirituality, religion, spirituality. I mean, there are other interpretations. This is a card of marriage. So, I mean, for some people, you may decide that you're going to choose your marriage because you honor that and you feel that there's enough good in it that you're not going to just throw the baby out with the bathwater. For some people, the issue of conformity may come up for you, because that's another theme of this card. And you may decide to go against that and say, if I stay in my marriage, I'm being a conformist because all my friends are married, and what would it look like if I'm getting a divorce? That's going to throw everything up into disarray. And the reason I'm saying that is because I remember my partner is older than I am, and I remember when he was in his late 20s or around 30, and all his friends started getting married. But it was like really weird how one after the other. And when one person got divorced, then guess what? Monkey see, monkey do. And people started getting divorced because a lot of people are conformists. And they really, again, doubt themselves, doubt their perceptions, want to fit in maybe. So look at these themes in your life, and in the type of work that you're doing, because with the Four of Cups, you may be dissatisfied with it, but you are, some people are very into that survival mentality, like, oh, I can't quit my job. I have to earn money. I have to be a constant money maker, or something bad's going to happen. Even if you have a lot of savings, you just may be one of those people who thinks like that. Well, then you have to accept what comes along with that. And sometimes it can be a negative work environment if you're not working for yourself. And even if you work for yourself, it doesn't mean it's going to be perfect. The outcome is the Five of Swords. This is, it looks like this bird, not necessarily pecking him, but definitely, yelling in his ear. And it really is a card about gossip, backbiting, maybe people kind of trashing you behind your back, but you may realize it. Somebody, those people that always come up to you and say, oh, this is what they're saying about you, and it makes them look like the good guy. Are they the good guy? Well, who knows? But the point is, I'll show you, and see that person in the background. I always think of coworkers when I think of this card. And, everybody's jockeying for position. Everybody's trying to, make themselves look good and try to eliminate the competition, maybe. But this can be a card of empty victory, where, you're trying to do certain things, but it's not necessarily, who knows, maybe you're not being authentic and doing things that you really want to do. But you can't admit that to yourself because you're so plugged into the survival of the situation, whatever. I'm going to talk about these other cards in conjunction with that card. Eight of Swords, a card of feeling, oppressed. The woman her hands are tied. So it really speaks to someone who is feeling like he is not able to, make some moves because there's something holding them back. But really, swords are thoughts, so something is in their mind. Knight of Swords, it could be a person who is creating chaos in your life. That could be in the workplace. It could be somebody you're dating. And they are not necessarily, he's on the run. He's not really, you can't get a hold of him half the time. He's not willing to listen. Maybe he's very blunt in his speech and it doesn't seem like he's very sensitive to your needs. Page of Swords. This is a card, this is the spy card. This is the reason I didn't end on this one, is because I might be a little bit paranoid. But in the upright position, it can be about documentation, getting all your ducks in a row so that you have a case where you can show evidence of something if there has been unfairness in your, let's say, your work environment, or if you're getting divorced. The King of Swords, I believe, can be like a judge. So you might be waiting for your divorce and you're hearing it from other people. The Five of Swords, you're hearing it through the grapevine that people are, siding against you. Or if you are divorcing a narcissist, you might be dealing, oops, why did I pick that one? Okay. With the Five of Swords, the person might be a narcissist and they're just trashing you so that they look better, even if they have been, really problematic in your life. And you're the one that benefits from being away from them. And then the Four of Pentacles. This was the last card that I drew, and you can see she's holding on to her coins. It's her coin purse. So it might be like if you're having a legal matter that you're going to try and preserve your finances. If somebody else is trying to, get their hands on them, they might have a real fight on their hands because you're not budging. Maybe you're being more vigilant about your finances. The Page of Swords can be that you are investigating something. Maybe the other person has been dipping into something that is a shared resource and is creating problems. Actually, there was a full moon in Aries, and that's in your 8th house, and that's shared resources. So that may have been some kind of, this was at the end of September. This may have been like a revelation that something was underhanded. Done behind your back, so that whatever it is, or if it's even with the workplace, if you're planning on leaving, you might be like, I have to save as much money as possible between now and next year or whenever. So that's what I have for you, Virgo. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye. Hi, Virgo. Welcome to your mid-October 2023 General Tarot Update. It's Raina here. So I'm writing this. I'm doing this video on the heels of a solar eclipse in Libra on the 14th of the month, and that's going to be in your second house of earned income. So that could be very interesting for your finances. Let's see what happens. Let's see if that shows up synchronistically with this cards. Well, yeah, I mean, the first card I got was the Two of Pentacles. So that can be, you know, making money decisions or, you know, like, what do you call it? You know, just employment decisions and things of that nature. Okay, I'm picking a clarification card. I do have some swords here. Oh my gosh. Okay, two cards stuck together. Let me see what the other one is. Oh my goodness. I think it's two cards. Yeah, it's gotta be. Okay. I am going to pick, I'm going to cut this again because I'll tell you why in a minute. Okay. Oh my gosh. I got Page of Swords. These are all, okay. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm really tempted to, let me just do one more card. Okay. Four of Pentacles. So, well, the reason